Welcome back. You're with us on India Today and you're watching this India Today special investigation Operation Mauritius, where we are bringing you for the first time ever the detailed money trail, explaining exactly how this scam originated in the United Kingdom, makes its way up to Switzerland, comes down to Mauritius and then ultimately to India. The Agusta money trail, 100% the explicit picture being put out here on India Today. Let me take you through how the money was routed in, the exact quantum of the bribe. Remember, there's been a lot of noise around the Agusta Westland investigation, but very little actual substance, actual meat. Sit back for the next few minutes as we tell you where the money came from, where it went, and to whom.
€70 million. That's the big fat bribe believed to have been paid to swing the Agusta Westland VVIP chopper deal. Over the last few weeks, you've heard noise and rhetoric, a great deal of denial, and a huge amount of shooting in the dark. What nobody has told you so far, who got all that money? Today, India Today scoops the full money trail, as charted out by the very agencies on the kickbacks hunt. What you're about to see are the international routes those €70 million took to swing the Indian deal. For the first time on television, the only 100% official and specific money trail route as laid out by Indian investigators. What India Today's Atir Khan has accessed from his sources in India's investigating agencies is what you're about to see, the first complete and official account of the money trail in the Agusta scam. And that's what we're going to show you right now. You very well know that it all began in the United Kingdom in 2010, where India signed up for 12 VVIP helicopters from Agusta Westland in a deal worth €556 million. But over and above that, €70 million was apparently paid as a kickback. But here's how the money actually flowed. It began in Italy, where Finmeccanica, the mother company of Agusta Westland, is based, where the CEO of the company at the time received apparently €12 million. That's the beginning of the kickbacks trail. Then the scene shifted to Switzerland, where two men whose names you've become very familiar with if you've been watching India Today coverage, Carlo Gerosa and Guido Haschke, received a staggering €28 million, a huge sum of money totaling almost 211 crores. The scene then shifts to the UAE, again from that original €70 million from the United Kingdom deal, where Christian Michel, another person you've seen first here on India Today, received allegedly €30 million as part of a commission. But here's where things really get just more interesting. Tunisia, this tiny little North African nation, where out of that €28 million that went to the two Agusta agents sitting in Switzerland, €24.37 million, almost the entire sum that went to them, was transferred to two companies in Tunisia, tiny little country in the African nation. Pay very close attention now, because this is where it gets even more interesting. It's the final threshold step before the kickbacks actually enter our country right here in India. This tiny little country in the Indian Ocean, Mauritius, world famous for its beaches, not so pretty when it comes to what we're about to show you, because it is here in Mauritius that two firms with Indians on their board received an unknown amount of money. We do know that money entered Mauritius from Tunisia by the people who were handling the kickbacks, but the actual amount is actually not known. IDS Mauritius and Interstellar Mauritius are the names of two shell companies in Mauritius that received the kickbacks money from Tunisia that been funneled from Europe. And now the final step is India itself. From Mauritius and from Tunisia, how did the money actually enter India? Take a close look at this. The first official information that you're ever going to see is right here on India Today. €3.8 million from Tunisia to Chandigarh, €3.8 million from Tunisia to Delhi, €0.326 million to the Tyagi brothers from Tunisia straight to their bank accounts, and from Mauritius to Delhi to a company based there, 4.77 crore rupees in the guise of foreign direct investment. Innocently supposed to be foreign direct investment, but that's how it was. And now we're going to paint you an amazing picture, because this has never been done before, of the web that illustrates the flow of the funds as they actually entered India. Take a look at that. This gives you the full picture, starting from the United Kingdom to Switzerland to Italy to the UAE. then to Tunisia, all the way down to Mauritius, and then in tandem, millions of euros and crores funneled at the same time using the best financial instruments, virtually undetectable, laundered around the world, and then finally entering India in this way. This gives you a real picture of just where things are at. And if we can show you what the flowchart looks like, the one that the Indian investigating agencies are actually looking at, it gives you the full picture. It starts here with this deal, 70 million euros. Christian Michel gets 30 million. Carlo Gerosa and Guido Hashke get 28 million euros. It goes down there. If you follow this line, it gives you the full Indian picture. That's where it ends here. These three entities are the Indian entities that finally received the bribe money. And this map shows you how the money that began in the United Kingdom with that deal finally entered India as kickbacks. The kickbacks money itself remains tantalizingly out of visible range for the moment. But what you've just seen here on India Today is the most detailed official account on how the bribes were routed into the nation. With Atir Khan and Harish Sharma in Mauritius, this is India Today's special investigation team.
Remember, this is the first time any Indian has actually gone investigating the Mauritius link. So far, even the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate has not managed to do what my colleagues Harish Sharma and Atir Khan have managed to actually speak to Shakil Fakeermahamood, the person through whom the money was routed into India, the person whom the ED and the CBI have been looking out for. I want to bring in my colleague Gautam Khaitan, who's been tracking the money trail. Gautam, what Shakil is saying is very, very significant because he essentially accepts that the money was routed through him. But his point is, that's what I do. I mean, whether this money is bribe money or good money or bad money, I don't know. That's what I do. What are you blaming me for?
Oh, absolutely. And that is where the role of the Enforcement Directorate becomes extremely crucial. Money went from Switzerland, Britain and Italy into Tunisia. From Tunisia, that money came to Mauritius. From Mauritius, some of that money was routed back to Switzerland. Some of it came to Chandigarh. Some of it came to New Delhi. Who all did it go to from here? That's the big question, because the fact that there was a scam, they were paying money to India, money was coming into India ostensibly for some software for the Agusta Westland helicopter. That software was already developed and inside the helicopter even before money started coming in. So this was a scam. Where was this money going?
That's the point. That's a very good point, Atir. And, you know, even though you cover the Enforcement Directorate and have lots of sources, that the reality is all the real investigation has either been done by TV channels or has been done by the Italian courts through their prosecutors. The ED and the CBI so far have very little to show. Okay, so now I've understood that money came into India. I want to know how much of that money went and to whom. So far, we don't have answers to that question.
Well, that's right. You know, as far as the agencies are concerned, when we talk to them, they say their hands are tied. They have sent letters.
No, hands are tied means what? Why are their hands tied?
The reason being that they themselves cannot go to a foreign country and investigate until they get the permission from the country concerned. So they have sent interrogatories, but there's been no cooperation.
But Gaurav, there I have a problem. The problem is when the Italian authorities wanted to speak to the Swiss middleman, they put pressure on the government in Switzerland to ensure that these people came in. India needs to do the same. We managed to get through to Christian Michel. The Indian government couldn't. We managed to go and speak to Shakil. The ED and the CBI have been wanting to do this but not succeeded.
And this is where they're talking about money, Rahul, that's coming into bureaucrats and officials. The big money that's allegedly gone to politicians, at least that's what the allegation is. That money is still swirling around in these countries. That is where the Enforcement Directorate needs to go, and that's a question that the Finance Minister perhaps needs to answer. Why haven't teams found out?
I want to show our viewers now what Christian Michel, in the interview we did with him, said about the Mauritius link and why the Mauritius link is so important.
My opinion, and it's just my opinion, is that a great deal of money went back to Italy. And Hashke has already admitted that some of it went back to Italy, but I don't think he's told the full story. I don't believe that one man can swing a deal like this. But I do think that something was going on in Mauritius, and I think that needs investigating. And I am one of the investigators. I'm suing Guido Hashki at this moment in Switzerland. So I'm also looking into what's been going on in Mauritius and trying to find out the money trail for my own court purposes, as I'm suing him civilly for damages.
So, from Hashke to Gerosa to Christian Michel, they're all talking about the Mauritius link and why this is so important. I want to bring you now some of the key comments made by Shakil Fakeermahamood to India today. When Atir and Harish was speaking to him in Port Louis, he begins explaining at great length how, yes, he was involved in routing the money through Mauritius, how he knows that there were large sums involved, but he says, that's what I do, that's why I'm there, and that's exactly what I get paid for.
If we take a case of Mr. Khaitan, he is a lawyer. Everybody is paid consultancy fees.
Yes.
The guy who negotiated to get the contract from the Italian company was paid consultancy fees for their work to be done, obviously.
Yes.
This is how it happened. Now, what they would do afterwards, because there's a contract everywhere. Everybody is assigned a responsibility. Now, if somebody has given money from a public servant like the Chagi, I think, or what is it? Chief.
Mr. SK.
Air Force officer. The Air Force officer. Now, if he has received money, we should know with whom he has received that money. That's not utilization bribe. But in an agreement, which was a deal, it was not something fictitious from A to Z. There was a contract, I can understand. There was a delivery. It is a commercial transaction.
So you know Mr. Gautam Khaitan, the topmost lawyer?
Yes, everybody knows him in Mauritius. He was the advisor of Financial Services Commission.
Which?
The Financial Services Commission.
Oh.
He was negotiating on the tax treaty with India. Everybody knows, the government knows him very well here.
Okay. So nothing will happen in this life?
No. In the process, there is good money and there is part maybe bribery, I can understand. But the good part is work done. There is work done.
Work done.
Yeah.
We don't know which part which is the bribery in the whole packet, because everybody is talking about the Agusta Westland, but it is an actual contract.
Contract.
The contract is genuine back to government. Part of it may be bribe of it, only part of it, not the whole picture.
According to media reports, Gautam Khaitan look like mastermind.
He can't be a mastermind.
He can't be.
He's a lawyer. How can he be a mastermind?
Sir, he's a lawyer. He can't be.
How can he be a mastermind? I don't know why. Of course, he's a easy prey. I can understand. But he didn't negotiate.
He's like in the trap. He's like
No, the question is, did he negotiate the contract? He didn't negotiate the contract.
No, but sir, what they're saying is he got money.
He may got money. Of course he may got money. He's a lawyer. Let's say he advised all this person. The person will say, I will give you so much amount of money to. But did he give a bribe? This is a question to ask.
The Mauritius mystery unraveling right here on India Today. The mysterious Mauritian link in the VVIP chopper scam, the biggest defense scam since Bofors. This is a story where we'll continue to pursue all the leads relentlessly. Remember, the ED and the CBI say their hands are tied. They can't go in without permission. India Today's investigative team has absolutely no problems. We will catch those who the Indian investigative agencies are looking for. We will ask them the questions that need to be asked, and we will bring you, our viewers, their answers. This is where we're slipping into a break. A lot more on Operation Mauritius at 8:40 p.m. with Rajdeep Sardesai right here on India Today. Sports is coming up next on the other side. Stay with us.